and check us out there. So, ladies, I want to talk to you guys today. I have had several conversations. She bringing the fire on her scopes. Yeah, yeah. My sister, she prays. My sister prays so good that I be like, Jesus. Yeah, yeah. So let me say this. I want to help you guys, you ladies, this morning. So I don't know the root of this, but I've heard this for several years. I think I do know the root of it. I think a lot of it is an attempt to try to help, is what I really think it is. But I was talking to somebody a few minutes ago this morning, and they were saying that they don't think that one of the reasons that they struggle with relationships or whatever was because they don't do a good job of. They were concerned. Excuse me. Hold on. I'm sorry. I was getting a call. Because they don't keep up their house as well as they think that they should. That hello from the Ukraine. Welcome. Hello. Oh, I didn't do the rules. Lord, I'm sorry. Here are the rules, real quick. My rules, not my rules, but my request. Let me say that my requests are: if you are on Periscope, would you please invite your followers? Because I want to get as many people in on this as possible. If you are on Facebook Live or Periscope, you do know that you can ask questions, and I will do the best that I can to answer them. And if I don't answer a question or don't answer a question thoroughly enough for you, you can always email me at Winfred, Winfred, Burns, Burnssii. So it's Winfred Burns II at gmail.com. That's Winfred Burns II at gmail.com. And then heart me up. Thank you. I see if you're on Periscope, heart me up. I feel loved. I feel loved when you heart me up. Can you feel this afternoon? So where is the love you said you'd give to me soon as you were free? There you go. That's how the hearts make me feel good. So all right. So so let me tell you guys something. All right, ladies, specifically, let me tell you something. There is this pervasive untruth that for some reason, again, I don't know how you, I think I know how it came about, but it's not necessarily true, that you have to. Good day. Hello, Elder Tina, how you doing? I am like my father, Elder Tina. I'm working on the vegan thing, but I'm not. I don't. Me and chicken have a unique relationship. So yeah. So anyway, so you pray for me, pray for that, pray for me. If you guys, oh, that's my other rule. If you guys are on Periscope, follow each other. Follow Elder Tina, especially if you want to do the vegan and all that kind of stuff. I just can't give up chicken yet. Me and chicken is a part of my ministry, so I don't see that happening. So yeah, but anyway, there is this thing that women have that somehow think that in order to keep or get a man, that you must maintain this pristine home thing. So somebody literally told me less than an hour ago that they struggle because she said that one of the problems that she thinks she has or is going to have is that she said, I look around my house and I see that it is not clean and that there's laundry. And so I quickly had to ask her. I said, well, as a man, why do you think men care about that as much as you do? And she said, well, I really don't know. I said, well, that's the problem. We really don't. So, ladies, let me tell you something. I'm not telling you not to clean. I'm not telling you not to cook. But what I told her was, unless there are like roaches, or like there's like, right, unless there's like roaches all over the place, or like it's just a mess, we really don't care as much as you all think we do about that. We don't. Like, if you ever, unless you, there are one-off dudes who are like super, like, weird about that. Like Rashad, my co-host and my cousin. He is like a neat freak, and so if that's him. But like out of the 500 dudes that I might know, he might be like the only one. And so again, I'm not saying that you don't have to keep maintain a good house and all that kind of stuff, but what I'm saying is you all put so much additional pressure on yourself to try to be perfect in many areas that are not important to us. If you really want to know what's important to us, I'm telling you, like I said, we want to maintain a good, clean house, but we don't. We want to maintain, but we're not all that concerned about it. We're more concerned about how well you take care of us as men, more than how well you take care of the house. So I tell this story. This is a story, a funny story that I tell, and she won't mind. She won't mind me telling this. But I remember the first year I was married, a long time ago. My ex wife coming home one day, and she literally walked in the door from work, and she was an RN at the time. She walked in, put down her stuff. Now I had been home probably about an hour or so at the time. She walked into the house, put down her stuff, immediately walks into the kitchen, starts cooking and cleaning and doing all of that, doing that kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there looking like, okay, so she just came home from work, walked into the kitchen, started working, and I mean it was like clanging dishes and washing dishes, and finally I'm like, wait, come here for a second. And she sat down. She's like, well, I can't sit down because I gotta get dinner ready and I gotta do this. And I asked her, I said, where in the world? What are you doing? I said, listen. I said, the man, as the man who has chosen to be with you, I am not concerned so much with that kind of stuff. I would much rather you take a moment and come in and take care of me and take care of you, than you coming in worrying about cooking. I've been here, and I've been here for like an hour, hour and a half. If I was that hungry, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna figure it out. I weigh 280 pounds. I'm going to eat. And so, why in the world would you think that the prerequisite? And so, her response to me was, she said, I really don't know. She said, it's just what I was always taught to do. And the same young lady, that was the different young lady, said the same thing. I've heard it several times, that I think that as a woman, my responsibility is supposed to take care of the home. And she said, and a reflection of how good I am as a woman is how well I take care of my home. And I said that it's not true. It is a part of the reflection. However, it is a bigger reflection how you take care of me as your man, how you take care of you as a woman. Those things are way more important than a clean house and laundry. Those are clothes in the laundry, turn it to cold, pour in the detergent, press go. We can do that if it's that serious, okay? So I understand about catering. Yes, I do. It's trust me, I understand. The point is that is a mentality. Here it is. That is a mentality that we probably got because many of our the people who were teaching us were stay-at-home parents, and because a lot of times that was the role that needed to be fulfilled in order to make for them to do their part, or to make them feel like they were doing their part, because they were codependent to some extent on one another. And so you have to realize that, guess what? That your value as a woman, your value as a wife, your value in the life, in the place of a man, is not to be the person who does laundry and keeps a clean house. Your value is not that. I can promise you that. Your value, the real test and the real value of you as a woman in the place of a man, or let me say this, or of a son. So if you're not married and you're not married, and you have sons, the real place is how can you provide strength, security, and protection to our lives? How can you provide strength, security, and protection? Now, can those things come at times in the form of making the home a place of peace and of, and smelling good and all that kind of stuff. Yes. However, those go far down on the list. Those are not the top of the list things. Those are things that kind of go down. If I come into my house and I have someone telling me, looking at me, say and affirming me verbally the right way, because most men, by the way, if you guys want to talk about love languages, most men, not all, but most men's love language, primary love language or secondary love language, most men is going to be words of affirmation. Most men. So that's just another tip for you, by the way. So if you can affirm me verbally the right way, if you can make me give us the space to decompress, meaning I don't mean just let us veg out by doing video games, but I'm saying, but make it a place where it's not where it's not arguing all the time, where it's not a whole lot of stress, which is again the purpose, I think, the intent of the whole house and laundry thing. If you can do those things, that's how you add value. If you can support in the way, and when I say support, I'm saying just like you need to be supported and you want to be supported and you deserve to be supported in your endeavors, we need the same thing. Except for, as a man, I'm going to tell you this, as a man, we probably need it more than you. And we probably need it more than you because typically for most men, we do not do a great job of maintaining and developing relationships with other men as well as you all do as developing and maintaining relationships with other women. So typically, and even when we do, here's another one that when most men get in groups together, we typically talk about sports, women, and money. Sports, women, and money. So there is usually not a whole lot of conversation about how we can become better men, how we can build one another up. It's more about decompression and fun. So we need you to be the person and to be the place where we can be vulnerable, where we can be weak, where we know that when we tell you the secrets of our hearts, when we show you the weak things, the things that we are uncomfortable with, that you are that safe place. Being able to not look at us as if we are less than because we are in a vulnerable or bad position is a huge thing for most men. And so, and you guys understand this better than us because you does such a phenomenal job of it with children. So you all as women provide that same thing, that nurturing thing for children very well. But oftentimes when it comes to your men, you tell us things like, oh, suck it up and man up. And there is a place for that. Don't get me wrong. There is a place for that. However, that cannot always be the response because there is a place for us to be weak and vulnerable. There is a need for us to cry. Men, by nature, want to cry. We don't know how typically, but we want to cry. We want to be emotional. We want to be able to express how we feel. We just don't know how to do it in a constructive way, and that is a part of the role that you place. So I believe, here it is, and I have no biblical proof to say this or anything like that. This is just from years of observation and things like that. And again, this is not speaking of every man, but I think what happens is, I say that when God took Eve out of Adam, what he took out of her was the emotional part of him. He took out of him the nurturing part of him. He took the part that was able to grow certain things out of him. Now, men can build, but it's a difference between building and growing. Men are builders, women are growers, typically. And so I think all of that was taken out of him, and we need you in order to complete that in us. So even if, as a man, we are in positions and you see us building, you will never find a man. You will rarely find a man. You will rarely find a man who is able to grow and sustain something when he is by himself, because you provide that for us. That's your value. That, along with is where we need. And I ain't gonna. And y'all notice, out of all of that, what I have not talked about. Good morning. Good morning. What I have not said is I have not said anything about about the sexual nature of what you do, because even though that's a part of it, that is not, again, that is not your value. So you are not just, again, we need it. Don't get me wrong. Let's just not. If you're married people, I want the non-married people, married people. Y'all not gonna inbox me and talk about some you told married people that I'm not telling non-married people to have sexual relations. I'm not saying that. We clear? Okay. So, but what I'm saying is that your value, again, the things that we tend to value, keeping a clean house, doing the laundry. As long as I'm being straight up, if I got clean drawers and clean socks, we're good. And I can wash my own clothes. And if I get that hungry, it's a McDonald's down the street, which I really am not all that cool about eating, but you get my point. This is possible. So we need extra things. We need different things. We need you all to be our cheerleader. There should never be a bigger cheerleader for your man, for your son than you. That's what we need. That's where your value is. So I just had to say that because when she, like I said, when she said that this morning, I'm like this is the look I gave her. Really? You really want to? That's what you think holding you back from? No. Like no. And so I did have to tell her. So here, let me tell you the rest of the conversation. So the other part of the conversation that I did have to tell her was that the reason, one of the reasons why hey, that's my sister, by the way, for those of you guys who saw earlier when she was talking about the prayer pill, Kingdom Daughters 1, that's my sister. That's who y'all need to follow because she can pray. She prays like she really sits at the right hand of Jesus, who sits at the right hand of the Father, like she can pray. So anyway, she get the praying. I'm like, who is that? She's such a docile little girl, and she get the praying. He'd be like, who is that? But anyway, all right. So by the way, I'm gonna call you later on. So the big thing that we need to, that you guys, the other thing that I told her that I really want you guys to understand is that there is the biggest thing that she is missing, and that this particular, that I see a lot, is the ability to trust. Oftentimes, again, because you guys have been lied to and taught some really bad things, and because people have taken advantage of those things that have been taught, and I've done it too, so I'm not trying to remove myself from that. That you now, it's very difficult for you to not only trust other people but to trust yourself. And when you do that, you cause yourself to be in a position where you no longer allow people into certain parts that they need to see. Now, you do need to guard your heart. Some of us need to learn how to slow that down and pull back. But for most of us, the biggest issue is it is too hard for you to allow a person to be close enough. And as a man, even though we do not verbalize certain emotions, we are looking to see your true heart and your true character. So we want you to guard your heart. So I'm not saying don't guard your heart, but what I am saying is that you don't want to be so untrusting that you are hard, and you're not feminine, because again, that's your beauty, that's your power. I'm telling you, that is the power in that. I'm telling y'all, there is nothing more beautiful than the femininity of a woman. Nothing. I mean, nothing. Wars have been started over that. So, I mean, come on. Countries have been evaded, and groups of people have been eradicated from the face of the earth because of the femininity of the female. So y'all got it. That's it. So don't be so hard. Don't be so untrusting. Again, don't be blind. Don't be blind. Don't walk into the middle of traffic, I'm not saying do that. Guard your heart, but trust. Be willing to trust. Be willing to trust someone who has your best interest. Be willing to build a friendship. Be willing to keep those standards. Do that, because that, again, that's your power, and that's what we need, and that's what we are looking for. Yes, you are going to run into some jokers. You are going to run into some jokers, but that's where your standards, that's where your morals come into place, and that's where, again, but it doesn't mean you can't trust anybody. Okay. So I hope that was, yeah. If y'all do follow my boy Dave Sinclair, if you're on Periscope, he's a preacher. He's a preacher. He's got some good stuff coming too. Also, yeah, I already said, if you're on Periscope, do me a favor. Y'all all need to be, everybody who on Periscope right now needs to be following each other, because like y'all are all the truth. So I got Elder Tina, who's got the vegan and stuff, and she can pray. Then I got my sister, she can pray. She got her thing going. Big Dave, he's got his business up and going. Crystal, I saw you on there, so if you want your jewelry, you need to get with Crystal. Alicia, she's got the event plannings, so you want to get with her. So everybody who's on Periscope right now, y'all need to be following each other. And other people I didn't see, my people from the Ukraine, definitely make sure you follow me, because we're going to get you guys hooked up too, and follow each other too, because I want you guys to all be able to spread your message and what you need. So I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you guys learned something. I hope it blessed you, because again, listen, this is about liberating. This is about freedom. There is such a freedom. I tell people there is such a freedom in Christ. There is such a freedom in doing things the right way. There is such a freedom in living, in the fullness and the power of the grace that has been given to us. Because I promise you, on our own, we are so limited. And that's when I tell I have a lot of friends who are, a part of the conscious movement, and I'm not against them or anything like that, but I tell them, I said, my issue with the conscious movement is not that you want me to wake up. My problem is that after I wake up, I realize that I'm a limited resource, and I need to stay tapped into the supernatural. And until y'all can figure that one out, then again, I know who my people are, and I think they're great people, but there is something supernatural that goes far beyond me that I must stay tapped into. So do that. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Again, you guys are so valuable to me and to this earth, that I want to help you. So if you need anything from me, you guys know. Winfred Burns, I at gmail.com. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good rest of your day. All right, bye.